2021 will probably go down in history as the year of the meme stock in market history anyway. And here's the latest. Camber Energy. So it came into September trading around the 50-cent mark, popped as high as, $4.80 in late September. And here we are now, back below $1 again. So in this video, we'll take a look at them in a bit more depth and see actually, is there further recovery to come for the stock, or is the hype all over now? I always like looking at the meme stocks, although they're not ones I personally get involved with because the volatility is a little bit too crazy. But I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at Camber Energy. Even if we go back over recent history, the last year and a half or so, you can see we do get these crazy spikes along the way, although none of these are on the scale of the move that started in mid-August that drove her up near $5, and here we are 80% lower again in the first week of October. So I thought, let's take a look at what's going on with Camber. Why is it being so volatile? What are the levels to watch? And come back onto the chart and take a look at things in a bit more detail. Hello, I'm David Jones from Capital.com. And I thought we'd take a look at Camber Energy, the latest in the meme stocks craze. And crazy volatility, as you saw from the chart there, where we took a look at it. So as usual in this video, I'll talk a bit about why we're seeing it move like it does, what I think of these sort of stocks, the levels to watch, then we'll jump back onto the platform and take a look at the charts in a bit more detail. As usual, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, if you could click on subscribe, it does help support the channel. It means we can continue to push out lots of different content throughout the week on the various markets that we cover. Plus, of course, every Friday at 2:30 UK time in the afternoon, I now do a live stream direct from our YouTube channel. If you're subscribed with the alarm bell notification pushed, you get a message off YouTube just as we're about to go live. Right, let's get into it. Take a look at Camber Energy in a bit more detail. So first of all, what does the company do? Well, it's got interests in multiple oil and gas fields across Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. And of course, we've seen, if we look at natural gas, an incredible move in the price of natural gas over the last few months. So some might think, well, that's the reason that Camber Energy is moving like it is. But of course, that's not the case. It's become another one of the meme stocks, popular on social media with on boards such as Reddit, Wall Street Bets, and of course on StockTwits as well. And we saw this earlier in the year with the likes of GameStop and AMC, where investors might target a stock that has a heavy short interest. So lots of betting basically against the stock price going down. And the idea is if everyone bands together and buys up the stock, they can initiate what's known as a short squeeze. This is where the price is moving higher. Those institutions mainly who are short may be forced to buy back the stock to cover their losses and push the price even higher still. And I think there's definitely an element of this that we have seen up until this month with Camber Energy. Just on Wednesday, it was the most actively traded stock on US exchanges in the first hour. And so think about that for a second. Out of all the stocks you can trade on US exchanges, this relatively small, probably unknown until a couple of months ago, was one of the heaviest traded. But we have seen it fall really heavily. We've seen a report from an organization called Capital saying that basically it was, quote, a defunct oil producer. The company has issued something of a rebuttal from Camber Energy to this report, but it didn't stop the stock sliding really heavily. So just to look at some of the numbers, at the end of August, it was trading at 48 cents. It was as high as $4.80 by the end of September, or towards the last week of September. So a tenfold increase. And since those $4.80 highs, here we are now, it's fallen 80% since then. So for me, I'm never a fan of these meme stocks. I think that it's great to watch from the sidelines, but I think they have to be treated almost like a lottery ticket, I think, some of these stocks, because the volatility is off the scale. So trying to practice sensible risk management with the likes of Camber Energy, I think, is very difficult. And those late to the party will usually get their fingers burnt. But let's take a look at it in a bit more detail. Let's talk about the levels to watch first of all. for what it's worth from a support and resistance point of view. I think the next levels on the downside to watch, the 7th of September low coming in around 84 cents. After that, the next major low, it's only from the 1st of September, but it's basically half again. So it's down at 44 cents. So, after the pasting it's taken in recent days, perhaps we'll see some support coming in. But as usual, to put some color on these numbers, let's jump onto the charts and take a look. As I said in the video, I think it is hard to apply any sort of sensible analysis to these meme stocks when they're gripped in the middle of all the hype and the excitement. But I thought, well, let's try and see what we can apply to this. If we look at, I've got a moving average on here. So again, traditionally, a 20-day moving average in this example, when the price moves above the moving average, that's our buy signal, then runs all the way up and didn't give a sell signal till just yesterday or the day before yesterday as the price fell back through the moving average, but had given up more than 50% of the profit made in that swing higher. So moving averages are good in, let's say, more normal trends, but perhaps in fast moving markets like these, they're too slow to give us the various signals. If we take a look at the RSI down here, went overbought on the way up in September. Again, as I often say, when we look at RSIs, overbought, oversold indicators, they can give signals too early. So they can get us to try and go against the trend too early, which is definitely the case here, of course, because it stayed pretty much overbought until the last couple of days. So would have missed out on a whole chunk of that move. I suppose it's interesting now that it is heading, not surprising given the size of the fall, back towards oversold. So perhaps we will see some stability come back into the stock. But for now, I think it's more important to look at the price action. So let's take a look at the last couple of months or so. So here we are back on the hourly chart. We've got a chart now going back to mid-August. And I think with a lot of these meme stocks, if you're in it and you make money, then it's great because that's the name of the game. But I do think perhaps a lot of people get in them too late and hang on and sit there with a losing position. And I think if we look at the likes of AMC and GameStop that we've covered on the channel, I think the story's over. The excitement has been and gone, and they're back to trading perhaps just like more normal stocks. And I think what's interesting here to watch, we're pushing back to where it was when all the mania started. So whilst at the time of recording, it's clearly still weak, we are still, yesterday when it closed on Wednesday, closed pretty near the lows for the day. So suggesting it is still under some pressure. But the area for me to watch will be the zone it was trading in before all the hype started. And that's still 50% lower than we are now, when it's trading down around 45 cents. But I do wonder if perhaps over the next few days, the whole 80 to 45 cent area could be one to watch to see if we do get a bit of stability coming back for the stock. Like I say, I do think that perhaps the story has moved on and we have to wait for the next meme stock to see an explosive move. Famous last words. I think we could well be waiting for some time for this to get anywhere near where it was trading just a couple of weeks ago. So an interesting one to watch. Perhaps we'll see a base form down here. If it gets volatile again, we'll come back to it. But I do wonder if perhaps the story has moved on from Camber Energy at this point. That's it for this update in Camber Energy. I don't know, expect the roller coaster ride to continue. I'll continue to watch from the sidelines. Clearly, it's been a really weak few days. It'd be interesting to see where and if the selling ends. I'm sure it will come up in the live stream on Friday. We'll take another look at it then. But for now, from me, David Jones and Capital.com, we'll leave things there. Good luck with your investing. For more trading videos just like this, please subscribe to our channel.